Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here, back with this time a new video with our Horizon Forbidden West. My thoughts on the game. Finished it last night on stream, the main story, and a lot of the side questing and stuff like that. So I'm ready to do this. I didn't do this last night. Right after I finished it, wanted to kind of soak in kind of the ending and kind of the entire last part of the game, because it was super revealing at times. So we're going to be going into non-spoilers at first, then I'll do a couple minutes of spoiler stuff at the end. I'll put my hand up, that sort of thing, and you'll kind of know when that is and around that. So first of all, obviously Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel for Horizon Zero Dawn, that was on PS4. We played it on PC before this, and there was a lot of quality of life additions to Forbidden West that I absolutely loved. Made the game a lot less tedious and a lot better in terms of resources. In no time during this game did I feel like I needed extra resources. It was early game more difficult to find like echo shells, but later you don't really start with the ability to get tear ammo early. It's kind of early mid game wise that you get access to a weapon like that, so it wasn't really any issues with resources. I found that I had that issue in Zero Dawn at times. A lot of you kind of noticed that with Blaze was particularly an issue, and sometimes echo shells. In this one, with the fact that you could just pick up everything, it goes and if you don't have enough space on yourself, it goes to a stash, was an absolute amazing quality of life change that changed the game resource wise. That you didn't have to go back and store things constantly, anything like that, and you never really had an issue with resources, which was really cool. So it kind of broadened up the fact that your resource hunts per se were like things to upgrade your pouches, your weapons, and armor, things like that, that were really great. And I think that was a good change, because it opened up an aspect that you actually were killing machines and hunting machines to upgrade as opposed to just be able to fight. So I like that change there. Overall, I mean, this is a beautiful game. Zero Dawn was a beautiful game, especially on PC. I expect nothing less from a game like this from Guerrilla Games. And Forbidden West was absolutely beautiful on PS5, and I think it's going to be just as beautiful, if not more, when it comes to PC in 3 or 4 years, whenever that happens, if they do. As of the story, I thought it was very good. At times, obviously a lot of open world games, you'll have some times where the story kind of slows down, only because you're doing more side questing, things like that. I really felt that I didn't need any of the legendary items or anything like that. There were just things that you could do, but they weren't required to really beat the game. Like, it likely would have overpowered you to the point where it was ridiculous. So a lot of the side questing, you could have went through this pretty quickly if you really wanted to. In open world games, you kind of get distracted, especially I get distracted, in that case it seems like it's a much longer game than it really is in that. I didn't see any pacing issues, anything like that. I mean, it's just me getting distracted in a game like this. I do like how it compounded immediately after the first game. Your time jump not too far, maybe 6 months, and you're still injected in a world where you don't know what's going on, and you have the ability to find out what's going on through the perspective of Aloy, which I do like those types of games. We're not being narrated by someone that's outside the situation. You're being narrated through an eyes of one character, which I do like, and this definitely has a good perspective to that. a lot of good reveals, things of that nature. Weapons, I mean, we're playing on it's console, so I didn't feel anything that was drastically different. A lot of different weapons though, and a lot of different weapons where some people may like, and in many cases I never either didn't like them or just didn't see a point in using them. And that's not because those weapons shouldn't be there or anything like that, like it's diluted or anything. A lot of people are going to use those weapons, but I like the fact that they give you a variety to test them out and kind of pick and choose on what you like based on what exactly are good things. I do like that. That kind of goes into the customization of the weapons, the weapon upgrades. That stuff was absolutely superb. One thing that I found a little weird at times with the weapons was the higher tier weapons, like the advanced forms of some of the weapons, you didn't really see them for anything but environmental. So I didn't really see advanced terror ammo. It's just straight terror ammo. I didn't really experiment a whole lot with a lot of the penetration ammo, where the ones that'll go through the entire machine into another machine that's behind it. I didn't really mess with that, although that might be good against like the big machines if you have them head on and you're looking for a component, and say you're at the bottom, especially like a Thunderjaw, where you have its like its disc firing and you're down below. Maybe your ability to penetrate the entire monster to hit that box on the backside, maybe that's a good use for it. But I didn't really use a lot of those ammos in the first place. I just kind of went explosive. I mean, that's just like my style in a game like this. Overall though, amazing game. I would say if you like the first game, you will definitely like the second game, and they really opened it up for a sequel in this. And just wow, I have no idea how they're gonna do this, but it's gonna be good, because I mean the sequel was just as good, if not better, than the first game. The first game has the mysteriousness of a world that you're first stepping into, so it's gonna feel better in a way than this game, because you already have you had no established expectations, and then stepping into this game you have expectations after playing the first one. But I think they definitely delivered in this one. So I'm gonna do some spoilers here, so my hands up. So that's how we're gonna do it. I'll give you a couple seconds to kick off, because that's the end of the video from there. And if you want some spoilers, not heavy spoilers, just surrounding spoilers, go ahead and stick around, and I'll do a couple minutes of that for the storyline. All right, so you had your chance to click away from that. Now let's get into it. Storyline was great. I like the fact that you had characters travel like with you, technically from the first game to the second game, with Varro and Aaron, and you actually were able to see those characters grow, and not to go more in depth on any specific drastic storyline thing, so not a lot of spoilers here. But the idea of them traveling with you and being able to actually see them grow, interact with them, see how they their response is, I really like that in the new characters with like Zoe and things like that. The same thing with Katalo. You get to see a lot of what other characters, like what makes them tick, but also their cultures and that sort of thing. I thought it was pretty cool with that whole thing. And then you'll never really get, and I love the reveals in this game when it comes to storyline, and that is the biggest thing with this. Like you're hinted in a way that there's something more, and so your mind goes this way, and then the reveal goes the exact opposite way, or something parallel to it that you never really thought. And I like games like that. which this definitely is like that. The idea that they're gonna have a sequel and you have to figure out how to fight a threat that's even worse, just wow. The themes also in this game are really interesting. I mean, they hint on the fact that you kind of know from the first game that humans destroyed themselves through technology, and that is something that humans have kind of feared for generations, that technology would outpace the human understanding of things and would ultimately lead to destruction. And that's what you get with like Ted Faro and the fact that he essentially destroys the world. Same thing that you see with this. You see an enemy that's has high technology, but again, the parallels are the same, and I love that. Trying to stay light on the spoilers or anything like that, but I will say I thought we were like, there's no hints of any like sequel or the idea that there's going to be one until the end of the game, when you're actually doing like the final mission or the final quest, and things get absolutely insane. Things that you never thought of, like you get hints that there's something there, but you think of it like an inconsequential issue, like okay, you have your enemy A happens, and as a result Z happens, so you have to do something to fix that, and you think that just the main bad, the big badness does it. Just wow, blown away with that whole thing. So that's gonna do it for the video. If you stuck around for the spoiler wise, keep it light on the spoilers. This is definitely a game you want to check out. I'm gonna say this now, end of the spoilers. So if you continue watching and you're muted, I'm gonna do the whole thing hands down. But now, the fact of there's gonna be a sequel, there's gonna be some good stuff that comes out of this, and I'm really excited what to see from here. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for hanging out. If you did for the live stream, you can go ahead and check out the live stream as well. About 15 episodes or so, but a lot of it's 7 hours or so. I really put a good 30 to 40 hours in this, doing as much as possible besides the hunting grounds and the arena. So I will see you guys in the next video. I'm not sure what we're going to stream next, but we'll figure it out along the way, and I will see you guys next time. Later.